Gonna try it. Here we go.
Give it a shot.
Josh Bartolomucci.
There it is. Wow.
Oh
Nailed it.
yeah. Yeah, all right, cool. I got it. All right. So, this week's topic, best practices for building e-commerce websites. Now, I've only built probably like one or two e-commerce sites, and they're very small time. And so I reached out to the FoxyCart team to help me out, as well as you guys in the community, in building better e-commerce sites that convert. Because e-commerce is all about converting. How do you get people into the store, and then when they're in the store, how do you guide them to buy something and make sure that whole experience is super streamlined so they never get lost. I mean, it's like being in a real store, right? You don't want to get lost and not know where to buy the things or how to check out, you know? So we have Josh from FoxyCart to help us out. Um, but before we go to Josh and start talking about all the things, every time I start a Webflow workshop, I always say thank you. Thank you to the Webflow community slash family who's here in the live chat room right now. Big shout out to Riley Mindwire, Bob Jorn, EBB, Andrew Jason, Nav, who am I missing? Pete, Alexandra. Yes. Thank you guys so much. You guys are here every week, and I cannot thank you enough. All right. With that being said, yeah, actually, there was an actual question first from Bob saying, what is the FoxyCart Webflow relation? And I just want to throw it out there right now that the only relation is that I learned it from Waldo because dynamic embedding just came out. When dynamic embedding feature just came out, I was trying to figure out how can I use this for e-commerce? And so we'd be using other platforms like Shopify, Gumroad, and all that stuff. The community has started a huge list of e-commerce platforms that'll work with dynamic embeds, thanks to Alex Nickel and the rest of the community. But most of the time, it's always been, you have to set up on two different platforms, and I just wanted something more streamlined. And then Waldo said, hey, I built something super fast on FoxyCart. I'm like, what's that? Show me. And I tried it, and I was like, whoa, mind blowing. So that's the only thing. It was just something that Waldo brought up to the staff, and we're like, whoa, that's really cool. But Josh, how are you, buddy?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Good to be
Cool.
here.
Cool. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. What was your path into web design?
Sure. Yeah. So I started out like maybe like many using GeoCities and building whatever I could with that, and I built a few different websites and a couple of gaming sites, just kind of doing reviews of games and maybe music and stuff like that. And I didn't really know much. And then I got my first paying client when I was like 12, and I
Oh
realized,
wow.
hey, people are willing to pay for this stuff. There could be some potential here. And so I kind of pursued as much as I could, and eventually learned HTML myself. Obviously, GeoCities didn't require any knowledge, so there was a lot of things that I still need to learn. And it just kind of went from there. So it's been a passion of mine, and it's been a lot of fun.
So you were 12. How much was that first paycheck?
I want to say it was about $150 for a full site. So, but when
Woo!
you're 12, 13, that's a lot of money,
Dude,
that can go a long way.
that's that's a lot. Shoot, I got 25 bucks when I was 13. I was like, yes! I actually
Yeah.
showed it to my dad. Like, look, I can make
Yeah.
money on the internet.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. This
Oh
confirms
man.
it's a real job.
Yeah, dude. Well, congrats and all that. All right.
Yeah.
So you went into web design and development, and then fast forward, you're now working for FoxyCart. So how did that all came about?
Sure. So I have to backtrack a little bit, quite a bit
Okay.
before that, actually. Doing client work, do a lot of work for churches and ministries and organizations, and so there's a lot of need for like donations or downloadables and things like that. And I was, at the time there weren't as many, online shopping cart offerings. There were a lot of more, self-hosted ones. So, like PrestaShop and things like that. And so I was just trying them out for different clients. But what I kept running into was the issue that many people run into is just finding something that handled everything I needed. Because I'd have one client that needed this, another client that needed that. But unfortunately, there just wasn't something that handled them all.
So hold on. One little note. So you started helping out with churches and organizations and everything. You did them for free as a donation of your time, right?
Some.
Yeah.
So eventually, it started out like that, or for very little money, and then it actually grew into a company. So
that's what I'm trying to tell the community, and I've said this in past workshops, is do your stuff for free at first and people will get your name out there. And I'm guessing that's the path you took, right? You said, I'm going to help you learned, and then people started to respect you, and that's how you start growing your own personal brand, right?
Absolutely.
See,
Yeah,
guys, it works.
Absolutely. And it just so happened, I live in the Bible Belt, so there are a ton of churches. And so doing that's not why I did church websites. I have a passion for it on the spiritual side too. But, it just so happens I'm in the Bible Belt. So there was a lot of clientele that needed help. Yeah. So it worked out good. So, trying to find a cart, really the final straw was when I built an entire store for a client, and we also had their website. They were separate, so we had to duplicate the design into the actual shopping cart. And I got it done, and I run some tests on some final things to make sure it worked as planned, and it didn't work. And there were some issues with the downloadable functionality, and that's when I started searching again. And fortunately, I found FoxyCart. Okay, and from there, I just started using it, and chatted with the support team some and whatnot, and started launching as many clients with FoxyCart as I could, because it met all the needs that I had, any type of product and whatnot. And eventually I got an email from Brett, the CEO, and he said, hey, we've seen your work, the product, would you be interested in working for us part-time? And that was about 5 years ago. And I said, yeah, heck yeah, I love using FoxyCart. And then from there, it went to, hey, would you like to work a few more hours, and like full-time hours? And I was like, sure. So so that's the rest is history, I guess. But that's how I got here, and it's been an awesome journey.
This sounds like the same. That's an awesome journey, dude. Congrats on all of that. It sounds like the same thing. Waldo, Bart, I think Will, Dave, the whole support team of Webflow went through that same thing. We just loved the Webflow tool, and we kept telling people to use it, and we kept building on it. And whenever a new feature comes out, we're like, oh my God, I want to try it out. And then eventually the CEO is like, you know a lot about it. You want to join us? Like,
well, what better people to have on your team, that are passionate about your product already? You're not even paying them, So,
yeah. Awesome. Cool that we have that parallel. So now, how did you first learn about Webflow? And because I noticed that Foxy.io is actually built in Webflow.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we actually had a user about 1.5 to 2 years ago, email us and say, hey, do you guys integrate with Webflow? And knowing the FoxyCart setup, I knew the answer was yes, but I want to try it out myself. And so I created a quick, free account, and I grabbed one of the free templates. And within about 30 seconds, I had a product demo for the user. And I was like, that was really cool. I mean, I knew it was going to be easy, but this was really easy. Like, that was too easy.
It's like too good to be true. So, like, what? I just built? Nah, this can't be real.
Exactly. And so we at FoxyCart, we always talk about getting to the magic as quick as possible to show people, like, hey, this is easy. And Webflow has the magic. Like, it was like FoxyCart was easy, and then Webflow was even easier. So it was just a match made in heaven. So I went back to the user within 30 minutes of that email and said, hey, I've got a demo for you if you want to check it out. And I think you'll appreciate it. And if you have any questions, let us know. And that got the ball rolling on me digging deeper, though, and what else could I do with Webflow? And I was even thinking on for FoxyCart users, but even just for personal clients I work for as well. So that was a pretty exciting moment.
Cool. And so when, but two or 3 years ago, Webflow didn't actually have the dynamic embed feature that would enable this. So, how did you get around that? Was that all custom code?
Well, fortunately, they just wanted a simple purchase button, and
Oh,
so
okay.
so using just a simple grab a button element in Webflow and modify the link, the URL where it's going to, you can have FoxyCart embedded right away. So so that was pretty straightforward. And then the HTML embed, the code embed would allow you to do some more stuff. But yeah, dynamic embed was not available then.
Oh, okay. And then speaking of dynamic embeds, um, like I think that was when I was hearing about it when it was in development. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the thing. We're finally gonna get some e-commerce functionality. And so when it finally came out, it still felt kind of a halfway step to e-commerce, and like it felt like everything whereas you have to build it in one platform and then rebuild it in the Webflow dynamic collections and then put dynamic embeds. So
Right.
when dynamic embeds came out, what was your reaction to that?
Yeah, so that was magical. That was pretty awesome.
That
So
was
I'd
magic.
actually watched one of your other workshops, and I think you were demoing. It was pre-release, so you were like given a taste of, if I remember right, and you showed like a Shopify embed and maybe like SoundCloud or something. I forgot what else it
Oh
was.
yeah, yeah.
And I went back to the team because we had already, I'd already done that demo for a user. I'd already, I think we'd already started, maybe almost completed our new Foxy.io site in Webflow. And so I went back to the team. I said, guys, this is a game changer because the CMS is powerful, but for the first time, we can tie the two. And for Webflow users, novice or experienced, it doesn't matter. Now there's an option for people to be able to use FoxyCart in their website, and because that's been sometimes FoxyCart was been more made for developers and designers, because you have to have a little bit of HTML experience, and whether a Webflow user does or doesn't, they can now have e-commerce within a matter of minutes. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. That's what like blew me away when Waldo first showed it to me. Um,
Absolutely.
and yeah, not having to keep two databases going at the same time. You can just have one dynamic collection in Webflow and be done with it. And that's why, like, I tell all my friends about it. So I mean, bravo to the FoxyCart team. Yeah. And so
Absolutely.
you've built a bunch of e-commerce sites. And before we went on the air, you told me that you built like a dozen or more.
Yeah, probably so. Not all e-commerce, but doing just client work outside of FoxyCart. That's how I got affiliated with FoxyCart, but I continue to do that some on the outside. And so, Webflow has kind of become part of my arsenal now of the tools that I have to build websites, and then obviously FoxyCart for e-commerce. But yeah, so I continue to keep rolling out sites using Webflow.
Nice, nice. Well, thank
And
you, thank you.
yeah, maybe I can give a little backstory. Just one little story that I think
Go
may
for it.
say a lot. It was shortly after that user emailed us about, can you integrate with Webflow? Within the next week, we had actually Amazon Payments was having their new log in and pay with Amazon option, and they were promoting that, and we were one of the recommended carts to use. And so we wanted to. My assignment was, let's get a landing page. Let's get something to market this. So I spent the next I think less than 2 days, and I put together a full landing page with some pretty sweet stuff. And this was kind of the confirmation. I took it to Brett, our CEO, and he said, "Wait, this is already done? Like, you built this?" I said, and I was kind of like, I was a bit nervous to say, well, I was like, to give away my secret. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that secret weapon. And he was totally blown away by the fruit of the labor, using the tool, but then also the tool itself. So that was pretty cool, and it kind of just went from there.
Oh, you didn't like drop the mic or anything or be like, "Did you doubt me?"
Yeah, I know. But coming from being a graphic designer and a developer, um, at first I think my initial thought was like, I hope I don't seem like I'm leaning on Webflow too much. But over time, I realized this is actually helping me. It's not like it's a bad thing, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. It's like, coming from I used to code everything in Notepad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like so moving to Webflow was a big shift for me, but it was a good shift.
I get that type of question a lot. For example, I did a
Yeah.
talk at Dev Bootcamp last week, and these are students who are developers, and they're it's a fast track kind of a school. And one of them actually said, "Is if an do you think employers don't like it if you mention that you use Webflow to build your sites?" You know, and I told that student, and I want people here in the chat room to know this too. It's okay to use a tool that helps you make things faster as long as you know the fundamentals. For example, if you're trying to put a nail through a wood and you're using a rock, you're using this motion. But what would be faster if you had a hammer, because it's ergonomically better and you're hitting it. Okay, but what would be faster than that? A nail gun. You know the motion, you understand what the fundamentals of putting a nail through wood. So why wouldn't you use a nail gun to make things faster? So it's the same thing like that. As long as you know the fundamentals and Webflow is going to make you that much faster, you shouldn't hide behind a tool. Just say, yeah, I can do it. And if you ask me some code, I'll explain it for you too.
Absolutely.
Simple
Yeah.
like
In the long run, it's going to save everybody time and money, and that's
There goes.
what led us to, even following through with the new Foxy.io site in Webflow, because, the old process was always sketches, Photoshop, cut it up, code it. And, anybody that's been doing it for a while understands that process. But when you can cut out a couple of those steps and jump right to the deployment, that's pretty exciting.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Webflow, nail gun. Yes. So, when it comes to e-commerce sites, let's talk about some great sites. And since I haven't built many e-commerce sites, only two that comes to my mind is two obvious ones, and start out with Amazon. And I'm guessing the reason why Amazon's awesome is because, well, obviously they've been here for a long time, but my opinion on Amazon is this search bar. I mean, the search bar is super prominent, and it's the first thing you go to on Amazon. And I mean, beyond that, I don't know what else awesome stuff they're doing with the UX. I just know it's fun to browse through and it's easy. But what are your opinions on Amazon? Like, what can you tell us what exactly they're doing right that I'm not, that I can't really see from an e-commerce UX perspective?
I think the biggest thing when I think about Amazon is just, I mean, a website with so many products is able to actually present those products in an orderly fashion and actually get them in front of you easily. And that's not an easy task. So, I mean, to be able to browse literally any type of product or service or digital product or tangible product and be able to actually filter those and search them and get to what you need very quickly, even without the search, even just drilling down categories and looking at, what you've looked at before in related products, that's some pretty cool stuff, and we probably use those features more than we know, just because it becomes a natural part of our shopping,
Yeah.
but thanks to Amazon, it's an easy process.
Very easy. Very. Another site that big shout out to is here. Let me share my screen. Is Target. Hold on. Share. Okay. Do you see my screen?
Gotcha.
You see it?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Target. I mean, Target's site is super minimal. Like, whoa, minimal. Because like Target, they have such great branding that their little icon right here, their logo is so small, and it gets away. It like reminds you to just stay looking at the products. You don't have to look at the logo to know that it's Target. But the thing I love it is that the search bar is so big and in the center top. And then when I look for something, it's like very thin lines, and then the products are huge, and everything is card based. And it kind of, just going through this site, it makes you feel like you're actually at a Target, because you go to a Target store and it's very clean and white and red, and I don't know, their branding is just so on point is what I'm saying. What are your thoughts on this Target site?
First thing that always stands out to me with Target is just the imagery. As a shopper, consumer, I want to see the product. I'm not able to hold it, but like you said, they're trying to digitally duplicate that experience of being in a brick and mortar store, and being able to see big, beautiful images and then click through and learn more and get more details. I like that. Also, being able to see the reviews. I'm a big reviews guy, and maybe I'm a bit overboard with it, but I like to see what people think about the products. And so even on those and on that grid layout, just on the summary of products, I'm able to see those reviews very quickly and then sort and filter by that as well. So yeah, very, very nice.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the huge images compared to Amazon. Now I'm just comparing it now. I feel like Amazon is more about trying to lead you to the next product.
Sure.
Rather than Target, where it's like, let us give you as much information about the product before you move on.
And while Amazon, does what they do very well, I like Target's approach for simplicity. You look at your main nav up top where you have the logo, categories, deals, my account, and cart.
Yeah.
Those are big areas. Those are important areas. And some sites you go to, it's hard to find out how many products are in your cart. How do I move forward in the checkout process?
Yeah.
How do I look at my account information? Things like that. So those are important pieces. And Target does it really well.
Yeah. Wow. And before the recording, you said you had a couple of sites that you wanted to show off and give us your tips on what they're doing right.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, let me. I'll share my screen here.
Okay.
Everybody see it? Okay.
Okay, I see it. Foot Cardigan. All right.
Yeah, Foot Cardigan. So these guys are out of Dallas, Texas. They are a FoxyCart user, but they're a pretty fun company. And
they look actually fun.
Yeah, they're super fun. Well, they're selling socks, so
okay,
it's a fun business. But they were featured on Shark Tank and did get a deal, and so they've done very, very well. But one thing that I love about this site is that the site actually matches the personality of the business and the product they're selling. And that's a super important thing. If you go to a site that doesn't match, if it's more, you can always tell when somebody's maybe just purchased a generic template, or maybe they're just using the generic layout. But I've heard you say it a lot, Nelson, about telling a story. And the same goes for e-commerce. If we can tell a story, and if you kind of scroll through here, I mean, they've got, presidential socks, and they've got, city socks. But obviously this is dealing with socks, so it's something you want to see, you can't hold yet, and so the imagery is perfect, and they're giving you some good views of what you're going to be getting.
That's interesting. Why did it darken?
I don't know on that. I want to say a pop-up was popping up there. That was kind of weird.
Huh. Okay.
But another thing that I like about Foot Cardigan is their checkout flow, which is really, really fun. So if we go to buy socks and we choose the type of subscription or product we want, you're going to be walked through an entire process to choose who these socks are for, male, female. How do you want to purchase them? Do you want them gift wrapped? And so it's a lot of fun. It makes it a really fun checkout experience.
Yeah, that's different. It's very lively, and there's no images on this page, but it's still fun. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is fun. And if you notice the language they're using too, so are the Foot Cardigans for a manigan or a lady-digan? Some really fun stuff that, again, match the personality of the business. And that's huge.
Yeah.
And so this is a checkout. If you bought socks from them, then you probably wouldn't forget it,
Yeah.
You'd remember that experience.
Yeah.
And so, you choose if it's for men or women. Do you want to pay monthly or pay once? And then I love this. Do you want to add horrible gift wrapping every month? And so there's just some fun options. And once you choose everything, proceed to checkout.
So, just one note that made me realize. I've heard it in the past. Use your website to talk to humans, not robots, or something like that, where you're talking to humans, and that fun copy just shows a great example of that. You're talking to a human who's about to buy something, And
Yeah.
so talk to them as if you're in front of them, and a website is actually a person talking rather than what's your size? Are you a male or
Absolutely.
female? Okay, good. Now buy it.
Yeah. Well, they could have went the route of just a simple drop down options
Oh
and
yeah.
a
Ooh,
small
even
picture of the
worse.
sock, and then you have a sock, the price, the title, and options and add to cart. And we wouldn't be talking about the site if they'd have done that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good point to that. And then when you get to the cart to kind of review your order, one thing that I love, and we wrote a little bit about this in our guest post recently on the Webflow blog, but is they set some clear expectations. What you're getting, the gender, who it's going to, how often you're going to pay, all those things. What's the next charge date? So some pretty cool information there that really guide the entire experience. So there's no questions at the end of what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's
Yeah.
a fun one.
I'm trying to start up my sock game. So maybe I should get on this, man.
Yeah, these guys are fun. They've got some good. I've got a few pairs. So I've got those skull ones right down there at the bottom.
Ah,
Those are fun.
nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So another one is it cool if I show the other
Oh,
one here?
yeah. Go for it.
Is Crossley Radio, and some of the people that are watching, I may be familiar with them. Their record players are in
Oh yeah, yeah. I've
Target
seen them.
and a ton of different retailers. But what I love about this site is that at the very beginning, you notice they're not even pushing a product. They're actually telling a story. They're creating an experience with this video of people hanging out, looking through records, just fellowshipping or at a concert or whatever. And so you actually have to dig a little deeper to even find the place to purchase them. But that's okay because they've done it right.
For the kids who are watching this or in the live chat room, a record are things before MP3 players. So,
Yeah, yeah. And so you get going here, and I love this because it actually they integrate maybe like their articles like from their blog along with their shopping options
oh,
and
so they
stories.
cool. The little dropping it in with that is beautiful.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful experience. And what's great about it is it's not your generic just click here to buy. It's inviting you to actually learn more. Style comes in AM and FM, and then you can
That
shop their
is
radios. I
that
mean,
is
some pretty cool stuff.
nice.
And so once you actually click on a product, then we're going to get to a grid of different products. These are records here. Let me go to some turntables. And just I love it's with the white background and then just the beautiful product images that are cut out and on that white background. It's just such a nice view of these
Dang,
products.
that is nice.
And they've got giant jukeboxes too, which is really
And I'm
fun.
guessing the dots are for different images.
I think so. Let's go here and see. Yeah, there you go. So
Okay,
for the
different colors.
different style options.
That's cool. It's even more minimal.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
you get to it and the focus becomes about that product. And again, when it's e-commerce, the big hurdle is you can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't feel it, you can't experience it. And so as designers, we've got to focus on that and create that experience so it's an easy sell. And I think Crossley Radio has done a very good job with this.
wow. Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, really nice imagery, and then you've got your product details, and you can go to specifications more for the tech side of things, and then simple purchase options.
Yeah.
Share options right there, which is a great idea. And another thing they've done too is they've also offered an add-on that they know people will be needing, and that's that needle replacement for the record player,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. So if you click on that, it'll instantly add it to cart,
Oh,
which I think is great.
nice.
Because anybody that has one is probably going to know what that is, that they need that. So
Yeah. Well, that's really really cool. And that sidebar, I'm guessing Crossley is on Foxy as well.
yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah, I was
so
like,
they
that
are
looks
using
familiar.
Foxy for this, and they've done a beautiful job of customizing. We provide some default templates that are mobile friendly right out of the box, but we give you the freedom to customize those as needed, so you're not boxed in. And there's a lot of different options there. So they've
Nice.
done a great job with it.
That's really really cool. And telling you guys in the chat room, just letting you know, that site, Crossly, check it out. It just looking at the layout, you can totally make this in Webflow.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that homepage, you that feels like a Flexbox playground right there, man. I mean, I love playing with Flexbox and just looking at that where you are right now. I'm like, I want to Flexbox everything right now. Oh my god, that's so fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great thing. Yeah, great point. I mean, this what you see here is definitely doable in Webflow, and then even more. So, absolutely.
What's the here? Let me put. Vlad is asking what's the link. Let me put it in the chat room. Crossleyradio.com. Bob has a question. Anyone knows a Webflow application to take a look? Don't like to read too much of wiki.foxycart.com. Anyone knows a Webflow application to take a look? Not sure what you mean by that, Bob. Do you kind of understand, or am I reading it wrong?
I don't know if he's maybe wanting more visual tours or of something, or I'm not for sure. And if that's the case, then we're actually on our new Foxy.io website. We've got an entire landing page dedicated to Webflow, and I've actually got a couple more video tutorials brewing right now that we're working on to give some very easy to do things in Webflow as far as bringing e-commerce in.
Nice. Is there any other tips you can give us? And people in the chat room, if you have any questions for either Josh and I when it comes to e-commerce, ask them right now. Bob's saying, anyone knows a Webflow application to duplicate? Okay. Foxy.io. Here, let me go to it. Foxy.io. And then let's see here. There's a where should I go for the
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the thing you made for Webflow,
I just do /Webflow.
Oh, made it even easier. So foxy.io /Webflow. There's a free template you can get that you made it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it connects to the CMS, and it takes advantage of a lot of great features on the Webflow end and the Foxy end.
Yeah. So yeah, you can download that and then just play. You can duplicate it, put it in your own Webflow dashboard, and just play around with it. I'm guessing it's connected to a demo Foxy account or something like that.
Right, and if you'll go to on that Webflow landing, we have a tutorial on how we built that that walks you through the entire process. So you could do it yourself, or if you want to save some time, just spin off the clone there of that template.
Yeah. So right here, I got the video pop up. It's going. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So hopefully that answers your question, Bob. Anyone else have any questions? And while we're waiting for questions, just want to mention a couple of things that that when I linked over to from the Webflow forums and I clicked the link to go to the foxy.io page, I was like, whoa, that's a new pop-up, because it said something like you're helping Webflow users get on board with FoxyCart. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So we do offer white glove onboarding. We call it for Webflow users, and really what that means is that if you sign up for FoxyCart, we're going to help you get started. And the great thing is we know Webflow, so we've been using it, and so we know how to help you do things. And so we've had many people sign up. It's been great chatting with Webflow users, and we've actually already got, I think, 2 or 3 sites that have launched already,
Nice.
e-commerce sites. So it's moving really fast, and that's really exciting to see, because that was the goal for Webflow, and that was the goal for FoxyCart, is fast deployment, responsive, beautiful. And
we're best friends.
Yeah, come on. And so if you guys sign up and you have any questions, I was telling Nelson, we actually personally follow up with every single sign up, and that's usually me doing that. And we love to see what you're doing, what your project is, what questions you have, and if you have any examples or demos you need that you would like to see, I'll take the time and do it for you. And I've done a lot already for Webflow users, so we're here to help. And one other mention real quick is just that, FoxyCart is completely free while you're building. So there's no time trial. There's no 14-day and hopefully you have it done.
Yeah.
It's you can build and test as long as you need to using all of our functionality. And then you only pay us when you're ready to take the site live. So you've got all the freedom in the world.
Nice, nice. First question. Alex is asking, what are the currency options on Foxy?
Yeah, so we support all the major currencies. So I mean, if you name it, it's probably in there. And so there's a locale settings in FoxyCart where you can specify where you're at, and then it'll pretty much set up everything in relation to that locale.
Do you accept Poke coins?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I went there. Yeah. Let's see here. Steven's asking, any chance of those sites that have launched? Any chance of seeing those sites that you have launched? I can't read. Jeez. Any chance of seeing those sites that have launched that you spoke of?
Sure. Let me, if you want to keep looking at other questions, let me get a couple pulled up here, and I can share them here. Bear with me just a second.
Yeah, go for it.
We should have had those up. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, after I talked to Waldo about all of this, it was just like rabbit hole. Like, oh my god, it's pretty easy. Ooh, these are some great questions coming in. Andrew J. Gannon, we'll get to those questions soon after Stevens. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Try. Ooh. Andrew. Memberfind.me. I'm gonna research that one later. Huh. And also, while we're waiting, if you want us to, if you want me to look into your project that you're working on, Webflow, go ahead and put the URLs, and I'll look at them after these questions.
Almost got it here. I remembered I had a list over here. Sorry.
Okay. It's okay. Let's see here. Show us what you're working on. Oh, and remember, it has to be a webflow.io link. There.
Okay, I've got one pulled up here. I'm trying to remember the other one here. I'm just looking through our help desk real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got them. I've got both of those ready. Get more questions coming in.
No, no questions yet.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Just share your screen and take us through.
All
Okay.
right. And this one actually, I think Waldo helped with this one. So, and so it was really fun to help him with different things and kind of see what he was putting together. But obviously, it's a Webflow website, and it's just beautiful. I love the imagery and the colors. And so you can navigate through to the products. And what's really cool are the options to add the product to cart, or you can learn more about the product, which I think is a great option. Because sometimes you know what you want, and you don't want to have to click through a couple more times to get it. And so I think it's a great idea. But if you want to learn more and you're not familiar with the product, or maybe you want to share it with a friend or something, then having that detailed page is super helpful.
Nice.
And so that's what they've done here. And as part of the FoxyCart functionality, you can add a mini cart right into your site there, which is pretty cool. And so it'll instantly load what they've got here. And so you click on that, and it'll show what's in the cart, and then you can also enter the cart or proceed to checkout.
Nice.
So really, really well done website here.
Waldo. Great job, Waldo.
And I think he had some assistance with a couple of pieces too. So I don't remember the names, but yeah, all in all, great group effort, and really cool to see something like this quickly come together with the Foxy Webflow teaming up together on that. So that's really cool.
Ah,
Um,
yeah. I think that was the one that Waldo showed me when he was like, "Hey, I made this in 30 minutes." I was like, "No."
yeah, yeah. So I think he had actually had been building with another cart implemented, and the problem, as you mentioned earlier, was having to actually create the products in that cart database and then go back to Webflow and add them again.
Yeah.
And that's a key point with FoxyCart, is that you can literally, once you've configured your store, you can do just about everything within Webflow, which is really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So,
So
can you
I've
show us
got
one more?
I got one more here,
Yeah.
and this is Mel's Toffee.
Ooh,
And
love the type.
yeah, it's a really cool site. And so this is Webflow, and this is by New Angle Creative. And they've just done an amazing job. And this one went up really quick. I remember they signed up, and I did some onboarding with them and answered any questions they had. I think I may have sent them a demo or two of something, and before we knew it, it was already live. So that was pretty cool. And so you can browse to the different flavors, and then you can choose, what how much you want of the toffee,
Mm-hmm.
and then add to cart. And you'll
Nice.
notice the cart, can kind of vary from site to site. Again, we give full customization freedom
Mm-hmm.
on everything that's related to FoxyCart. So you have full control there, or you can just work with what comes by default. We have a lot of people that do that, want to deploy something quicker. So
Nice. And I noticed there's a PayPal button. That's really cool. I'm guessing you can put other buttons like Google Wallets or and what is it, Android
sure.
Pay now or other stuff like that.
Well, so the PayPal checkout option is unique because it actually allows you to go straight to PayPal and bypass the checkout. So we do have an option for that. But if you did proceed to the checkout, you will sometimes see other options. So they accept PayPal and just debit and credit card.
Oh, cool.
Now we support almost 100 different payment gateways and alternate payment methods, including Amazon, Dwolla, Bitcoin, Stripe, Authorized Internet, all the names you can think of. They're probably supported, and we're adding more. So you've got, that's one of the perks of going with something like FoxyCart, is that you're not stuck to just Stripe or just to Braintree or whatever. You can allow your customers to pay how they want, and that's another great, tip for successful e-commerce is give your customers options when it comes
Oh,
to
yeah, that's
payment
true.
options.
Yeah, give
Be-
them options.
Absolutely. So anyway, so there's that great site. New Angle did a great job, and Waldo did as well. So very coul to see those spin up very quickly.
Nice. Let's see here. I got a question from. Let's see here. What are the currency up? No. Andrew has a great question. Foxy versus Shopify. You probably get this question a lot.
A lot.
And we
Yeah.
get that question a lot too when it comes to a Webflow versus CMS XYZ.
Right.
So, can you quickly give us a quick comparison answer for Shopify?
Sure. Well, the biggest thing would be that we only focus on the cart. We decided from day one we didn't want to be a jack of all trades, and so that's a huge differentiator, in my opinion, because with Foxy, you can use it anywhere, and you're not stuck to a specific CMS. With Shopify, you've got your CMS, you've got all the other features built in with the e-commerce. But the beauty of Foxy is that if you're already using Webflow, keep using Webflow and add e-commerce to that instead of the other way around. So we build around your needs instead of you having to build around what the rules that we set. So that's
Wow,
huge.
great answer. Yeah. Um, any plans for membership site creation tools with Webflow? I think this may be out of the realm of FoxyCart, but
Well, just to note on it, FoxyCart does support subscriptions, so recurring functionality. In fact, we use our own subscription functionality to charge thousands of users every month. So we kind of eat our own dog food there, which is
yeah,
awesome. Just like you guys, the
yeah.
Webflow site is Webflow. So we do have the technology there. As far as tying that in a members area, obviously, in Webflow will be dependent on the future stuff that Webflow has.
Nice. Lem Jenkins has a site. Let's see. Let's see what he's working on. floor covering by TC. Let me go here. Let me share my screen. Okay. Oh, look at that. That angle. That's interesting.
Nice.
Okay. This is probably not e-commerce, but still, this is nice. Okay, he has a scrolling interaction, so the logo can get away. In my opinion, the logo can get even smaller as they're scrolling down because you already tell them it's floor covering by TC and it's huge, it's prominent. When you get down here, make it even smaller or even, remove the words a little bit. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I like this. It's very techy. Has a lot of interactions on this one. Cool. What are your first impressions on this site?
Yeah, so that was my first thought too, was making that logo smaller as you scroll, and not taking up so much real estate up there once you start scrolling. The other thing would be, I'm just kind of, my eyes are going with you as you scroll here. I haven't done it myself, but is kind of where to land. What is it you want me to do when I get there? So if you can speak to that quicker and direct me, then that would probably be more beneficial in the long run.
Yeah. So like we say before, and those e-commerce sites that you showed us, especially Foot Cardigan, what's the story? You have who we are, so I'm gonna click on that, and I'm thinking local roots, world of options. That headline right there, that should actually be on the homepage. Because here it's like it's like talking to a robot. Tile bathrooms, tile flooring, fireplaces, stone fire. So it's like you're just selling me what you're doing, but then there's no story behind it. So it's like, okay, how are you different from the competitors? So try to focus on the story first, because if people don't know this brand yet, if people don't know, if this is not a household name, and people don't know about it, they need to know the story. Unless you're like Nike, you say Nike, oh, you already know the brand. The brand's been here for years and years and years. So you don't really need the story. Just sell me the product. So maybe focus on that. But overall, it's looking really good.
Hey, Nelson, I was going to say something real quick, just on the top there, when you had, the different tile pieces and whatnot. One thing may be good, if these are actual photos, you could almost put a testimonial or a story with those, and maybe use more descriptive words, like beautiful slate flooring, or just things that actually draw people in instead of just slate flooring. But imagine having, a quote with a picture of that person, like, floor covering by TC did an amazing job. The tile backsplash was just perfect, things like that, and have a story with those pictures even.
Oh, or even a before and after.
There you go.
Yeah, and then and I think I said this in a past workshop, take notes on everything, on all your projects, because it gives more weight to it, like behind the scenes of movies, what was the mission and how did you end up at the finish line and what happened in between. So hopefully this can help with your site, Lem. Let's go to another one. Here's a question for you. Let's stop here. Foxy versus Ecwid.
Yeah, so Ecwid does have a similar setup as far as embeddable products, but again, it goes back to what we've seen with other shopping carts, is you actually have to manage those products within that cart system first, and then you can embed them. And also, the checkout experience is a little bit different. I don't know how customizable it is. I can say without a doubt, FoxyCart, anything FoxyCart related is completely customizable. And, we've been doing this for a long time, 9+ years, e-commerce, we live and breathe this stuff. So, it's a great, team of about 10. We're all remote. And I tell you what, these guys are passionate about e-commerce, and we're always trying to make a better, faster, safer checkout. And it's just getting better every day.
Nice. All right. hopefully that answers your question, Bob. Let's go to another. I'm gonna go to another site. Let's see what you're doing. This is Carolus, and he or she says nothing fancy, just a playground. Okay, so it's probably not a. It's not an e-commerce site. But okay, so these are Spotify playlists, and I'm guessing they go to Spotify site. Pretty cool. This is probably dynamic lists. Pretty good start so far. One thing I noticed, Carolus, is you have your links. Notice how the Webflow link at the bottom right has a gray border around it. It's because you probably set all of your image links or all your links to have gray borders. And so it's messing with the logo down here as well. So you might want to check that. But overall, looks pretty cool. Probably have a hero row at the top that explains what this site is for. You know, and I know you're just playing around, but try to get into the habit of doing good user experience. Okay. Any quick thoughts on this, Josh?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And if it's just a kind of an experiment thing, then that's one thing. But if it is something for the public to use, so explaining what this is. But one thing I did like was how you're doing those full images of the artwork behind the actual artwork. That's kind of a cool little effect. And maybe there's even more you could do with the effects, so that when you hover over the entire section, there could be some cool things you could do. But overall, it looks pretty sweet. But yeah, like any website, have a vision and make sure that vision comes across when people visit it.
Yeah. And I think they're using opacity and the new blur filter.
Yeah.
Which is a great job in the experimentation. Keep going. And I mean, proud of you for experimenting, because that's the only way you can break things fast and learn and see what you can do with it. So great job so far. Let's go back here. And yeah, I don't think there's any other questions. This is Webflow plus Foxy would knock out WordPress. That would be nice. Just saying.
We can all dream big.
Yes,
we'll dream
big. And Lem says something. So the floor covering thing is something he finished for a flooring company. His next website, he's going to use e-commerce, so he's signing up for FoxyCart today.
Awesome.
Yay!
Cool.
We're all friends.
Yay.
Yeah. Let's see here. Lots on teacher. Jay Gannon says, lots on teachers. Not sure what he means by that. I know make a great income with video member sites. This is a weak area with Webflow, as self-hosted video and member areas are non-existent. Okay, that is true. If you didn't see, though, on the Webflow forums, here, let me go on the forums under wish list. This was posted by, one of our co-founders, Bryant, and I'm just showing on the screen what he said. He said, the topic is password protection for individual pages and folders. And Bryant says, thanks for all the feedback, everyone. We're actively working on this feature and we'll be starting beta testing next month. So next month, password protected individual pages and folders.
It's
coming. And then maybe you can add, I don't know, a subscription to that using FoxyCart. What? Like I said before, this broadcast, and I was talking to you during our sound check and everything, I was like, every time a new feature comes out, it's like one step closer to that thing. And then you like, oh wait, more possibilities. I want to get closer to that. And then we get there just a little bit, and then it opens up even more. It's like,
Yeah. It's never ending.
So we're going to get there, guys. Stay tuned. Yeah. And stay tuned to the forums, because when our co-founders are always on it, and the whole staff is listening on the forums, and we want to make just like FoxyCart, we want to make magical things for you guys, and we want you guys in turn to make even more magical things. We love seeing what you guys do with it. It just brings us all great joy. Okay, here we go. We got two questions. Alex, say if I wanted to have a cart icon showing a number of products already in cart. Oh, okay. So Josh has already showed an example of that. There is a cart tab on the right. What was that site that Waldo made?
So that was, it's kind of it's a Webflow link. So I can,
Can
give me
you?
to send that to you in chat. Maybe that would.
Okay, go ahead. So that is already part of FoxyCart, Alex. So if you see here on the top right, there's already a cart. So yeah, that'll follow me around everywhere I go.
So you'll have to. So one thing to note on that is we don't force anything on your website, which gives you the freedom to do what you want. So in the tutorial, if you watch the longer tutorial on how to build a web store with the CMS, we actually walk through on how to add that mini cart to your site, so you can show what's in the cart and you can style that and do what you want with it. So we do cover that in the tutorial.
Cool. Jason is asking Webflow API and FoxyCart inventory control. Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We've been asked about that before. Maybe it was Jason previously, but yeah. So inventory functionality is available in FoxyCart, but we've got to be able to tie in, obviously, to control what's being displayed and not displayed. A nice workaround that I mentioned in the forums is, the great thing about Webflow is you can quickly add a toggle for in stock, out of stock, or whatever. And so it's not ideal, but it is a workaround with our current setup with Webflow that you could, quickly turn off a product and still display it, but remove the product purchase option.
Yeah, we'll get there, guys. We'll get there. There's workarounds here and there that if you still want to reach that goal, you can. You're just going to have to, find some workaround or do some custom code, but it's all worth it. And then when we finally release an API, which Sergi has said on the forums that we are currently working on it, a way for a way for code to hit your dynamic collections in a way that you can update them or read them in a more dynamic way. It's coming. So
It's going to be amazing.
it's another thing. You're gonna get close to something, and then we finally release it, and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. But what if? And
Yeah.
then it just opens up a new door. I love it. Let's see here. Bob, been fooling around in Foxy Clone. I pull my Foxy versus Equid question from septic to lover in 3 seconds. Okay, so Bob's a believer. Yay!
Come on. Yeah, I know. As always, we're available if you guys have any questions. We want this to be a smooth process, and we're here to help with that transition. So.
Cool. Let's get two more questions. Alex is asking about that cart tab. Can you actually put the cart tab in another element like the nav bar? So I'm thinking kind of like Amazon or Target. How it's integrated into their nav bar.
Right. So if you look at the free responsive e-commerce template we have available, that's the way we did it. Actually, was in that we just have a link that says cart, and it has a count of how many products are in the cart, and it's part of the navigation actually. So you can put it anywhere. That's the great part about it. It's good. We give you the HTML to embed, so it actually it pulls off of the FoxyCart script and loads that data into your site, and then you can style it however you want.
Nice. All right. While we're waiting for the last question, I just want to say Josh. Thank you so much for your time, man. And your knowledge and your passion for e-commerce. It's really awesome. I learned a lot today.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun. We're excited about the future, man. Just like we've been talking about, there's so much ahead. So
Oh gosh,
really exciting.
yeah. I mean, it's so much to do, so much to learn. Never ending. Again, while we're waiting for the last question, my regular sign up, so I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat room. Thank you guys so much. Great questions today. Want to see you guys next week. Let's go through the things. Okay, where can we find more information about FoxyCart
Sure.
and its
So
social channels?
yeah, so in relation to Webflow, if you go to foxy.io/Webflow, we've got a lot of information on there, tutorials and details. And you can go to foxy.io in general, and you can browse the site, see some case studies, look at the features. And as always, we're available to help. You can just shoot us an email, hello@foxy.io, and we're here to help. And I did want to mention we just got our Shark Laser T-shirts in, and so if
Sharks with
anybody,
freaking laser beams.
yeah, if anybody wants to hit us up, just send us
Okay,
an
wait,
email.
what's the story behind sharks and laser beams and e-commerce?
Does it have to have a story?
I don't know, like someone. Okay, it doesn't just come out of the blue. Someone must have had someone must have been out at a bar and was like, it'd be a good shirt to market us right now. Sharks with laser beams.
Come on,
What
come
is
on.
the
That's
story?
exactly
What is
what
the story?
happened. No, we for our current FoxyCart.com site, you'll see a lot of watercolor artworks, and we actually hired a girl, I think out of Russia, I think is where she's from, but she's just an amazing artist, and so we had her do all of our artwork, and we were having her do different things. We have a rainbow pooping unicorn. I mean, we've got some really cool stuff. So, we've had this one. We actually did a really cool flyer that we take to like PHP conferences and whatnot. And it's just a lot of fun. And it's just a fun team. And I think it speaks more of our personality as a team and our craziness of our founders as well. So, so yeah, but if anybody does want one, send us an email and we'll get you some information on how to get one.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. Yeah. Where can we send an email to so we can get a shirt?
Yeah, absolutely. Just hello@foxy.io.
Okay, I will send you one now. I want sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads. Yeah. Let me type it into the thing so everyone knows. hello@foxycart.com for a free shirt.
Yep, either one of those. So hello@foxycart.com or hello@foxy.io.
Oh, okay.
We're in the middle of a brand change, so it may be a bit confusing, but we've got we're becoming more than just a shopping cart as far as being able to add e-commerce to platforms even. So that's kind of a little bit behind the scenes of what's going on there. But yeah, either one of those.
Nice. All right. Daniel's asking tutorials for FoxyCart integration. And I think you've mentioned this before, but I'll just answer it for you. Foxy.io/Webflow is all the information they need, correct?
And if there's anything that's missing, I mean, I want to know. Like, I don't know how to reach out to everybody, but if there's something you haven't seen that you're like, hey, I'd like to do this, can we do it? And I'll say either yes or no, probably going to be yes, and I'll get you a demo.
Nice, nice. All right. For more information, on FoxyCart, check out their Twitter stream at FoxyCart. If you want to follow Webflow on Twitter, it's at Webflow App, or me at The Pixel Geek. If you have any support questions for Webflow, just hit up support@webflow.com for all your account, billing, or technical issues. For design issues, go hit up the Webflow community, or should I say family, which is really awesome. They're there 24/7 to help you out, and they love helping, and I love the community so much. Go to forum.webflow.com and just join and learn and teach. It's super fun. And soon we'll be rewarding people who help out. I'm working on a way to start a point system so we can give you guys discounts on Webflow subscriptions, or even gift cards or something like that. I'm working with the team to make this all happen, because when you guys help, I want to give back even more. So join the community and stay tuned for all the announcements and information about that, as well as future product updates. On facebook.com/webflow. And if this is your first time at the workshop, it happens every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much, Josh, for being here. You're awesome. FoxyCart's awesome. And thank you for the free shirts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a blast, and appreciate the Webflow community. You guys are awesome.
Awesome. All right. Have a good day. See ya. I always lag when I'm stopping the